Hello and welcome to Building Resilience in Children. Today, we are going to look into an area which is very important actually, particularly for children as they grow up, which is symbolism. And how do we actually explain symbolism to children? Again, one of the very important things possibly they cover in schools as well. But as parents, it's also important to understand some of the techniques that we can follow as we are parenting them. So a part of it can be homeschooling as well. So, what is actually symbolism? Symbolism is the use of symbols to represent ideas, concepts, or objects. A symbol is something that represents or stands for something else, often an abstract concept or idea that can be directly expressed. Symbols can be found in many forms, including words, images, colors, and gestures. So, symbolism is often used in literature, art, math, and religion to convey deeper meaning and themes. For example, if you go and look into literature, a rose may symbolize love or beauty, while if you see a snake, that might symbolize evil or danger. Interestingly, in art, colors may be used symbolically to represent different emotions or concepts, such as blue for sadness or green for nature. And similarly, in religion, symbols may be used to represent spiritual ideas or beliefs, such as cross in Christianity, representing the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Remember, the use of symbolism can actually add richness and depth to communication, allowing ideas and concepts to be conveyed in a way that is more meaningful and memorable. Now, the challenge is that how do you actually explain that to children? So, explaining symbolism to children can be done in a way that is both easy to understand and enjoyable. So, we're going to look into some of the very simple ways to teach children about symbolism. It is often a very good idea to begin by introducing very simple examples. So, like the concept of symbols with simple examples that are familiar to children, such as here, you can see a rainbow, and rainbow often symbolizes hope. Or in this case, a heart representing love. Now, this will help them to understand the concept of symbols and how they are used to convey meaning. Or in this case, a heart representing love. Now, this will help them to understand the concept. The other way to help children understand symbols and the underlying meanings is to use visuals. So visual aids can be a great way to help your children to understand symbolism. For example, you can use pictures of different symbols and ask children to identify what they represent. You can convert this exercise into a game and have hours of fun and conversation. As you see here are some of the very popular symbols. See if they know it. Explain how to associate symbols with meanings. It is not just memorizing, but understanding the underlying concepts that is very important. It is also important that we make it interactive. So engage children in activities that involve identifying and creating symbols. For example, you can ask them to draw or make a collage using symbols to represent different emotions or concepts. It would be really good to actually relate to some real life situation. So help children understand how symbols are used in your everyday life. So for example, you can explain how traffic lights are used, how traffic lights use colors as symbols to tell drivers when to stop and when to go. Also, generally exploring symbolism with children is a very good idea. So encourage children to explore different symbols and their meanings, whether that be on online platforms or as you are driving through or you're walking down. Try and look and point out to the symbols and ask if they know. If they don't know, explain them the meaning. You can provide books or websites that showcase symbols as well from different cultures and ask children to identify what they represent. For example, you can link the color red to love, passion, or danger. So that's what is. For example, you can link the color red to love, passion, or danger. So that's what is. For example, you can link the color red to love. Again, if you look into dove, that can symbolize peace and purity. Similarly, if you look into sun, that can symbolize warmth, life, and growth. Moon, mystery or femininity. So all of these have got some underlying meaning. Like a broken mirror can symbolize bad luck or shattered dreams. Or if you look into a clock, that can sometimes symbolize passing of time or morality. If you look into tree, it kind of symbolizes life, growth, and connection to nature. Flags, that can symbolize nation or even an ideology. So the other thing that I wanted to point out here also is that symbolism also boosts critical thinking. They are connected. Now, these are just a few examples of the many symbols that can be found in art, literature, and everyday life. Symbolism can convey powerful meaning and messages and evoke deep emotions, making it a powerful